Trigonometry. This is part 8. In this video, we are trying to read the graph and answer few indirect questions. Reading the graph. Domain and range. What's the meaning of domain? The x values of the function. Okay. What are the x values of the function? Look at the graph. Write down the domain and range. Okay, when we just look at the graph very carefully and then find out what are the x values. It is available on the x-axis. Look at the position starting from minus 120 all the way up to 108. So the domain, we write domain is x element of minus 120 to positive 180, including minus 120 and 180. So we put it in square bracket. Range, what is the meaning of range? The y values of the graph, where is it? Look at the y values. The minimum is minus 2. Minimum is not minus 1, remember that. Minimum is minus 2 here from the graph. We are reading the graph and maximum is 2. So the range is y element of minus 2. The smaller, lower number is first and the higher number is second. Minus 2 to 2. Okay. So that is a method of answering these type of simple questions. It's 2 marks. Now, another question. Here is a sine graph. The domain minus 180 to 210. And the range minimum minus 1, maximum positive 1. So we write the answer. Okay, domain and range. Simple. We move on to another question of tan graph here. Look at what is the domain. We find that it is starting from minus 180 to positive 180. But here we have two asymptotes. One is at minus 90 and the graph never touches this asymptote. So the x value minus 90 should be excluded and positive 90 should be excluded because those x values are not applicable here, the graph of tan. So we write the domain x element of minus 180 to 180, but x not equal to minus 90 and x not equal to positive 90. What's the range? See, there is the y-axis here. The range can go from minus infinity to positive infinity. Or any y value, any value is applicable here. We can write y element of r, or we write y element of minus infinity to infinity. Another sine graph, domain from minus 240 to 300 in this question. We are reading the graph. And look at the range. The minimum is minus 1. Minus 1 to positive 3. Y element of minus 1 to positive 3. Now we discuss period and amplitude. In the previous video, we learned how to write the period and amplitude when the equation, not the equation, the function is available. 2 sine x or sine 2x or sine half x. We know how to write the period and how to write the amplitude. We learned in the previous video. Now here it is not the case. we do not have any idea about the equation. Look at the graph. The graph is available. Graph of H is available. Write down the period and amplitude. What is a period? Period is a cycle. Starting from one point, it is coming to the same level. This is a cycle. So if you want to calculate the period of a trigonometric graph, okay, you start at one point and then think about the same level. Where is the graph approaching the same level? And the distance between those 2 points will give you the period. Here, look at this. From minus 180 to 0. How many degrees? 180 degrees. Again, from 0 to 180. Another 180. 180 plus 180 gives us 360 degrees. Period is 360 degrees. Now look at the amplitude. The graph is shifted upwards, but how do we calculate the amplitude? Look at the maximum value, that is 5. Look at the minimum value, 1. So you just take the average of the 5 minus 1 divided by 2 is the amplitude. So 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. That is a method. Okay. Maximum minus minimum value divided by 2. Look at another question. Period and amplitude. So go for a point and then calculate the distance. Here also again it is from minus 180 to 0. And 0 to 2. So the period is 360 degrees. Amplitude 2 minus 2. That's how we calculate. Maximum minus minimum. So here it is 2 minus 2, making 2 plus 2. 4 divided by 2. So the amplitude is 2. Because we don't have the equation. Only the graph is available. Look at the graph. Write down the equation for the graph of f. We have two graphs. We are looking for the equation of f, the green graph here. Look at that. It is definitely a sine graph, but it is not passing through 0, 0. That is the mother graph is supposed to pass through 0 and sine 90 is 1. It should be here. But it is not at 0. 30 degrees to the right. So the graph is shifted from 0 to 30 degrees, positive side of the x-axis. So if it is moving 30 degrees to the right, coming to positive 30, the equation becomes sine of x minus 30. If it is moving up to 60, we'll write sine of x minus 60. But if it is moving to the left and moving to minus 30, then the equation will be sine of x plus 30. We have few ideas from the topic functions. So that is how we write the trigonometric functions here. Moving to the right, we write the equation, and moving to positive 30, then the equation is minus 30. Okay, that is how we write. Another graph question. Equation for the graph of G. G is a cosine graph. Okay, it's a cosine graph. What we want, the equation for the graph of G. But look at that one. It should be from 0 to 0, 1 and 90, 0. 90, 0. But here it is, the 0 is at 30 degrees. So how do we get that equation? Which equation can give us a 30 here? Now 30 becomes the position for 90. 30 times 3 is 90. So the equation must be not cos of 1x. The equation must be cos of 3x. So 90 divided by 3 gives us 30. So that is how 30 becomes the position of 90. So the equation of this graph G is cos 3x. So we are learning how to read the graph and get the indirect question. Usually we are given the equation and draw the graph, but here it is the other way. Now look at the next question. F of x equal to gx. Determine graphically the value or values of x. Okay. Maybe one value or many values for x, where f of x equal to gx. Look at the two graphs. Where are they equal? They must be equal at the point of intersection. The x coordinate and y coordinate will be same. What is the x coordinate? Minus 60. And we want the values of x only. We are not worried about the y value. So minus 60 is an answer. Another point where they are equal. 30 degree, x is 30 degree. Then we have x equal to 120 degree here and 220 degree. Okay, we got the answer from the graph. X equal to minus 60 or x equal to 30 or x equal to 120 or x equal to 220. Moving to the next question. Find the values of x for which f of x is less than gx. F, the sign graph, f should be less than g. Where is it? Okay, here it is less. Up to 30. After 30 degree, look at this, f is greater all the way. So the answer is values of x. What is the x value here? Starting from minus 60 to 30. Okay, we can answer all these questions very easily after learning this video. Okay, you see, this is the x value, all the x values from minus 60 to 30. Okay, now we write the answer in this format, or you can also write using the bracket format. How do you write? Less than, not equal to here. Right? Look at the question, only less than. So we must write x element of the round bracket. You must use the round bracket, right? Because that one is not included, not equal to here in the question. Minus 60 to 30. You can also write, if you are comfortable with this format, use that. But if this is an equal to, then it will be square bracket. Okay, less than or equal to. So that is our answer between minus 60 and 30. Look at this question. F of x is greater than or equal to now. So 30 and 210 are all included. Even this 120 are included. Okay, so that is the difference. You must know how to answer these x values. Now, lastly, f of x times gx. You multiply fx with gx and it should be less than or equal to 0. Remember, negative answer. So where is it? We can mark all the points very quick. Okay, below the x-axis is going to be negative, negative, negative. Okay, but above the x-axis positive, all positive here. And below it is negative. That is the technique we are going to use. It's very easy to answer these type of questions. Okay. Positive, and this one is negative. You mark it like that, and then we can also do the same thing with this f minus 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 minus, positive positive positive, all the way it is positive here. Now our question is less than or equal. When you multiply, you must get negative. So look at this one, negative times negative, you cannot get positive. But after this point, what is this? Positive times negative, positive times negative, positive times negative, positive times negative up to where? Here, up to 90. So we get negative from this 30 degree up to 90 degree. Clear? What happens after that? Positive, 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 positive. But look at this. After 150 degree, again we have positive and negative. So we want negative answer up to 210. So these are the answers we want. From 30 to 90, and look at this, 30 or 150 to 210. Okay, good people. If the question is again greater than or equal to, you think according to that. This is negative, less than or equal to 0. So that is the end of part 8. You watch these videos again and again until you are well confident, okay, and prepare for the exam very well. Thank you.